Hello, Fusation. My name is Alex Feuz, the host of Fusion News, and we have another big show for you right now. I'm on the phone with Peter Abraham. He's a Boston Red Sox reporter for the Boston Globe. So, Peter, what was it like? The Red Sox are obviously coming off a World Series victory from last season, so they are the reigning and defending World Series champions in the MLB. So, as a reporter, what was that like for you to cover another World Series victory here in Boston?
Well, it was certainly much different than 2013 because that team came out of nowhere, having finished in last place the previous year. And this Red Sox team was so good all year. They won 108 games, won the division going away. And it really would have been a disappointment had they not at least gotten to the World Series. So that part of it was certainly different than the World Series team I had covered before. Certainly no less enjoyable, just a different kind of, the coverage is a little different because the expectations were so high. And they were such a good team. And they were playing the Yankees, and they were playing the Astros, and then they were playing the Dodgers. Three very high-profile teams in a row. So it was very interesting to see them slice up those teams like they did. Much easier, I think, than anybody thought it would be. So it was one of those years where I think over the whole course of the season, from spring training through to the last game of the World Series, there was never a time that the Red Sox were in any kind of crisis. Everything was pretty seamless.
So when the Red Sox and the Yankees faced off for the first time in playoffs since 2004, and you used to cover the Yankees as well. So what was going through your mind as a reporter for the Red Sox? What was the expectations for you as a baseball fan from this series between the Yankees and the Red Sox?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. For the Boston Globe, it's good for business. Having the Red Sox play the Yankees, it's good for baseball. And certainly as somebody who has been lucky enough to cover both teams, it was really fun because I got to see a lot of my friends in New York. I got to spend a little time in New York. Those guys came up to Fenway Park. So, it was all around a great couple days. And for me, as somebody who was a baseball fan before I became a baseball writer, getting a chance to see the Red Sox and Yankees play in the playoffs, I mean, there's really not much that's any better than that,
A side question for you. I remember I've interviewed John Sterling, and I've been reading that. Is there any truth to this? Is that a lot of the beat writers would talk with John about potential home run call nicknames? Is it true that you would anytime give him a little advice about either a home run call for a new Yankee when you were with the Yankees covering them?
Well, yeah, when I worked for the Journal News in Westchester County, New York, I obviously got to know Mr. Sterling, and he's quite a character. And when the Yankees traded for Eric Hinsky one year, I can't remember what year that was, John was telling me that he was having a problem coming up with a home run call for Eric Hinsky. So I had a blog at the time that I was doing for my newspaper that was very popular, and I put it out to my readers, and I said, can somebody come up with a good call for John Sterling when Eric Hinsky hits a home run? And I made it into a contest that if John Sterling, used the actual call, that you would get credit for it on the air, and it was kind of a fun thing. So there were several hundred entries, and the one that John picked and that I helped pick was Hinsky with your best shot, which is a typical John Sterling kind of thing. And sure enough, about 2 days later, Eric Hinsky hit a home run, but the person who had submitted that didn't enclose their name. So we didn't know who it was, and John Sterling used that until Eric Hinsky was gone from the Yankees. So that was kind of a fun thing, and just to kind of he would always say, that comes compliments of the Lowhead Yankees blog. So it was kind of a fun thing.
That's awesome. We'll switch gears now, and you mentioned really the difference factor of covering from when the Red Sox won the World Series in 2013 and when they won it in 2018. And one guy that really wasn't that big of a factor, maybe not on the field but on the bench, is Dustin Pedroia. So if Pedroia is not able to play every single day, do the Red Sox go out and try to get a second baseman, or do they just use either Holt and Nunez there again like they did last season?
Well, no, I don't think they'll go out and get another second baseman. I think that ship has kind of sailed at this point. There's really nobody out there that I think would be any better than Brock Holder, Eduardo Nunez. So if it were to come to that Dustin Pedroia couldn't play, I think that they would alternate Holt and Nunez or try to find a combination of guys that would work there. They also have Zue Lin, who's probably going to start the season in AAA, but he's a big league player. He's pretty darn good, and I think he's somebody who that they would turn to and know that at least defensively he'd be able to handle that job. So I don't think it would be somebody they would go out and get. And right now with Dustin, I don't know if he's going to be able to play. He hasn't played in the game yet in spring training. This is March 3rd now. he has plenty of time to play in a game. The season doesn't start for a while. Mm-hmm. But until you see him play in a game, and then you see him play 2 games in a row, and then you see if he can play 3 games in a row, you really won't know whether he'll be able to be there for opening day.
When you look at the 2019 Red Sox roster, potential roster, obviously the 25-man is not locked down completely yet. But when you look at the potential lineup, there's really no issues there in the grand scheme of things. So, but the one issue or a couple issues is either the bullpen. And you still have Craig Kimbrell out there, the potential, free agent. People are saying he might go back to the Red Sox and not. We are not exactly sure yet. But do you think there are any pitching prospects that stick out to you to make the call up to help out and maybe later in the innings, but really covering the bullpen throughout the season this year?
Well, I do think there are some prospects who could end up helping them at some point during the season. It's probably not going to be in April. Whether it's Darwinzon Hernandez, Travis Lakins, they have some guys who I think could who are minor league starters who could probably break into the big leagues as relievers and give them a boost, whether it's in June, July, August, whatever it may be. I don't think I certainly wouldn't expect those guys to be in the bullpen breaking into the season because most of them really only have either a little experience at AAA or in AA. So to start out the year, you're going to see Matt Barnes and Keith Embry, Brandon Workman, Ryan Brazier, guys like that. And it'll be interesting because I do think they're a little short in the bullpen. I wasn't an advocate of them signing Craig Kimbrell back, but I did think that they needed to invest something, to get at least some sort of depth in their bullpen, which they didn't really do. So to me, that's the only real weakness that I see on this team. Everything else, their lineup is tremendous. Their rotation is tremendous. I don't know that, barring an injury, they have any other weaknesses other than the depth in the bullpen.
Mm-hmm. You talk about injury. Is Stephen Wright an option either in the 7th or the 8th if healthy?
Well, if he's healthy, and that's the big question. He hasn't pitched yet in spring training as he's getting over his knee issues. If he were to start the season on a disabled list, it really wouldn't be much of a surprise. It's, Stephen, like Dustin, had that similar surgery, the cartilage replacement surgery, and as both guys hoped. And right now, he's in the same situation as Dustin is. Until we see him on the mound, which we haven't done yet, we really don't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm. If you had the magic powers that every Red Sox fans wish you did, what would be one thing you would do to this Red Sox team before now and opening day?
Well, there's not much they can do right now. There's really, I don't think Kimbrell's coming back. And it looks like if you were to sign with somebody, it's probably not going to be the Red Sox. They don't seem interested in investing the kind of money that it would take. I don't know that there's another reliever in terms of free agency out there right now that would help them. The players who are still remaining in free agency in terms of relief pitchers are kind of the bottom of the barrel guys at this point. So I don't know that there's an external move that they could make. I'm a little intrigued to see if they could bring back a relief pitcher of some sort. Were they to trade one of their catchers, which they seem to want to do. They don't want to start the year with 3 catchers on the roster again. That was kind of unwieldy last season. Now, I don't know whether it's Christian Vasquez or Blake Swihart or Sandy Leon, if they could bring back a major league reliever. I think maybe Vasquez could or maybe Swihart could. Mm-hmm. So that could be a move they make at some point in spring training that could help them, if not immediately, certainly at some point during the season.
And the Red Sox and the Yankees face off in London for 2 games. Do you feel like those 2 games can really enhance the baseball market to really reach a whole different audience? Because baseball, everyone talks about baseball being the dying sport. I disagree. I think baseball needs to kind of update and kind of reach a different, younger audience. So I think, what are your thoughts about really the MLB going in to London for 2 games, and especially these 2 marquee teams, the Red Sox and the Yankees, facing off for 2 games?
Yeah, well, I do think if they were going to do this, they had to do it with the Sox and Yankees. There were really no other teams that made much sense. The 2 biggest, most well-known teams, 2 teams on the East Coast, so the travel wouldn't be as tough as it would be for, say the Dodgers or the Giants. It made complete sense if you're going to do it to have the Sox and Yankees. As to whether it's going to make a difference, I don't know because they've never done it before. We'll have to wait and see how this works out. But I do know that the NFL has found a lot of profit in London. They play there now. I know it's at least 1 game a year. I think it's more than that. And there's talk of at some point the NFL will have a team in London. So I don't know that we'd ever get to a point of having a Major League Baseball team in London. But there's certainly a market out there. I think the fact that those games sold out very quickly is a sign that there's a market out there. And I think it'll be interesting. I know the Red Sox very much believe that they can make some money being involved in baseball in England.
Peter, this is one of my favorite questions you either ask a reporter or a baseball player in general. If a teenage kid came up to you and told you they don't get baseball and it's boring, what would you tell them? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say that there's a lot of things going on when you think that there's nothing going on, and that you need to watch that. You need to watch the interaction between the catcher and the pitcher. You need to watch how the infielders move around. You need to look at what the batter is where he's setting up, where he's trying to swing at the pitch. That there's a lot of things going on that are interesting, even though the ball might not be in play. And I think once you come to understand those things, baseball, I think, could be as interesting as anything else, whether it's a video game or a book. And even in whatever video game you might be playing, there's things going on off to the side that you need to be aware about. Right. And I think baseball is very similar in that way, that there's things going on that aren't necessarily the primary action that lead to the primary action. So baseball is a sport that you need to be patient with, I think, if you're a young person. But once you understand the nuances of it, I think it's something that people really come to enjoy.
Well, Peter, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to come on my show tonight. And where can Red Sox fans and the Feuz Nation follow you on Twitter and follow along with you? We're 25 days away to opening day. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's interesting now with the season starting so early. It does come up fast, and it's it seems like only a few weeks now I'm going to be in Seattle for opening day.
Crazy. All right, Peter, thank you again for coming on tonight. I greatly appreciate it.
All right, Alex, thank you.